Pin that media, Marti Blagborough, go check him out, yeah? Listen. Growing up I had a dream, something no one else could see. Tell me what it means when your faith has fallen beneath your knees. The people need someone like me to show them photography in public is not a crime, you'll see. Marti, go grab the camera, the order is live and ready. They got mad, though it's legal, abusing power, the petty. The donut must be forgetting the founder of Pin That Media. Leaving them sweating, going live on YouTube. You can see them regretting, this ain't a joke, I ain't playing around. Section 43 ain't working if I see you about. I'm the legal representation all over my nation, so be ready to see me, piggy. I will blow your house down.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if it's your first time around here. I'm out with effing chunky monkey as always, which is just over here, and we are just arriving at HMP Forest Bank. There's a reason why we're here, and it's because we didn't plan to be here. We were just driving past, we were going to a nearby location, and we seen a sign, it said HMP Forest Bank down here, so we thought, it'd be a bit rude of us, wouldn't it? So I did a bit of googling, found a little bit of something for us to talk about, and I shall be doing that in a roll. Oh, there's a police van here. There's a police van here. Well, no one definitely tipped him off. I know that much, because we didn't plan on coming here. It just happened randomly. I'm going to go up to the front side where the prison door is. I'll do some talking from there. That's where the police are heading down now as well, actually. So we'll go check that out in a row more. I am currently getting stared at by some officers, which I don't mind. If you want to come and say hello, they are definitely invited to do so. So yeah, let me just get round here guys and we'll go see what's going on. So guys, obviously as you already know, we're here at HMP Forest Bank, which is also home to UK Detention Services Limited, which from my understanding they house the foreign nationals waiting for deportation or waiting for their immigration hearings to take place, in reference to being kicked out of the country, lack of a better way I could find to say it. But there's been a very recent article which was actually published yesterday by the Manchester Evening Post about this prison, and it basically reads and says as follows: Salford's Forest Bank prison has been issued with a 45-day improvement notice by the government. We understand the significant concerns and rectifications notice was slapped on the jail 2 weeks ago by the Ministry of Justice. The privately run prison is operated by Sodexo Justice Services, and if progress is not made, the company could lose their contract, which is scheduled to run until 2025. The move has triggered a huge refurbishment programme of the prison in Agecroft, with its capacity being reduced by approximately 200 prisoners so that each wing can be revamped. This has meant that transferring some prisoners, the action by the Ministry of Justice comes after it sent officers in to inspect the prison from the HM Inspectorate of Prisons unit, and they have been hit by a series of scandals and internal investigations in recent years. In 2019, drugs were found at the prison 654 times, the third highest number in the UK prison system for such seizures. Now to think of that number, 654, it's basically twice a day.
Yeah, that's the one.
You know what I mean? That's a lot of drugs, that, isn't it? There is also concerns about the standard of the maintenance of the building. An internal memo leaked to the press sent by Forest Bank director, who is the same as the governor but you call them directors in private prisons, Matt Spencer, and dated the 17th of July, reveals how the wings are being shut down and inmates are moved around to enable refurbishments. The memo reads: a significant amount of work is ongoing at HMP Forest Bank to refurbish our prison. As a result, over the next few weeks our operational capacity will be reduced by 200 prisoners. This will be achieved by scheduling more drafts out of Forest Bank than usual starting today. So they'll be moving prisoners out of the prison. Mainly it'll be sentenced prisoners who will be serving sentences at a different location. The plan of moving forward, when we have achieved our reduced capacity, is to temporarily close one house block or 2 wings at the time to refurbish, so this can be completed by a quicker timescale. The refurbishment wing and then reopen, and we can then move forward to refurbish work and the closure of another house block, until all house blocks from A to F have been refurbished. We expect this reduction to be for a period of 3 months, and when we return to our operational capacity of 4,060, staff and management from the closed house block will be redeployed to other groups to assist colleagues for the period of closure. The prison opened in 2000 and accepted its first inmates in January that year. A riot broke out in July, 1 week after its official opening. Since then, it has changed and had a checkered history, reports the HM Inspectorate. Last month it was revealed that flaming packages suspected of being filled with contraband were hurled over walls in a bid to bypass security measures. Now what that means is a lot of prisons have got nets up over exercise yards, etc. So they'll send things over that are on fire, so it'll burn through the net, drop to the floor, and then the prisoners will have their opportunity to try and seize that contraband. In June, the Manchester Evening News reported an investigation had been launched following claims that... In June, the Manchester Evening News reported an investigation had been launched following claims a booklet listing which prisoners are inside for sex offences got into the hands of an inmate in the jail. In February, 2 prison officers who stole thousands of pounds worth of electronics from Forest Bank and sold them were jailed. It's a bit scandalous, isn't it? Two other members of staff, one who had worked as a security manager and anti-corruption boss at the jail, and another who was a security analyst, had been previously locked up for their role in thefts. In January this year alone, a prison officer who brought paper laced with the drug known as spice into Forest Bank was locked up. He also brought a large amount of tobacco into the prison and had received £50,000 in unexplained deposits into his bank account. That is some pork, that, guys. In November last year, a masked man on a motorcycle was filmed as they torched a vehicle outside Forest Bank. In 2019, a prison officer whose car was petrol bombed at the prison lost his job after it emerged the vehicle was neither taxed or insured. I don't know how that's relevant to losing your job, but okay. A prison source said the current atmosphere at Forest Bank was seriously rocky. In another memo issued by Mr. Spencer, inmates were told, due to unforeseen operational circumstances, there will be a limited timescale for the weekend. That was the 31st and the 1st. It added, staff will ensure the distribution of hygiene necessities across the weekend. In addition, DVDs will be played on the Forest Bank TV channel. Monday will revert back to normal. A spokesman for the Ministry of Justice said, we visited HMP Forest Bank as part of our routine contractual agreements to monitor the performance and provide support at the prison. In April, mobile phones, steroids, SIM cards, electronic contraband were found during a police operation targeting the cells of senior gang members at Forest Bank. Tobacco, cigarette papers, cannabis, spice-lined paper, lighters, screwdrivers were also discovered. Cells were searched at 4 AM by prison officers working off intelligence from Greater Manchester Police on those at the top of the organised crime groups. Operational Dragon Fire was launched after a spike in the number of phones thrown overs where mobile phones... Operational Dragonfire was launched after a spike in the number of phones throwovers were mobile phones and thrown over the prison walls of the jail. Asked to comment on the issuing of the improvement order, a spokesman for HMP Forest Bank said, we cannot comment on contractual matters, but they never want to talk about things that put them in a bad light. Obviously, that always works that way. So they are the current updates for the jail. I've got a few more things to come when I get some different shots in a moment, but for the time being, we've been watched by 4 people over there for the last 5 minutes. They keep staring. If you just want to check out over here, they stood just here, guys. They've been staring for a while. But they can keep doing what they do. They can stare and watch as much as they want. Now, I'm going to give 5 minutes. Adrenaline spiking, and we'll see if we've got out to say.
What we on with, chaps?
What?
What we on with?
3 guesses.
I gather that.
That's it.
Or what?
None of your business, mate. Sound.
Fuck off, Perv. Who are you calling the Perv? Get your head in your car, you little dig, and jog on. Shut up, muppet. Perv. That's right, so you're obviously a rapist, aren't you? Obviously.
Stop having sex with them inmates.
Fucking idiot.
So these snowflakes over there, they was stood there for us for about fucking 10 minutes, watching me read out the full article. Then this fat bald guy over here says, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like a bit of a stupid fucking question, innit, considering I've just stood there and read out the full article. Then he took his little bald fat ass back inside over there, next door. And the woman comes out, she says to him, "Oh, get the cell phone, the police are en route." Like the police are en route bothers us in the slightest. Think it's going to affect us doing our job? Idiots. Idiots. So yeah, apparently got some police on the way. Well, good for police. Yeah, they won't come out though, they're on a job out there. So when the police get here, we'll tell them exactly what we're doing. I'll say, "Hey, not being rude, but it's not really any of your business, mate." Some little squatter down there, yeah, just there getting it calm, mate, the little rat. She goes, "I hope you're not filming me, you little perv." So I said, "Oh, well, you're clearly a rapist then, aren't you? Obviously." Fucking little rat, mate. Need to wind her neck in, don't they? These stupid people. Absolute fucking rats. Yeah, have some of that, you div. What a rat. Try to wave. Get the plate. So guys, as you can see here, this is where the lady came out of the door and said that the police are en route. As you can see, they've got all the metallic style windows, so you can't see in there. But if we go up really close, we might be able to, so let's have a look, shall we? There we go, guys. If we go up close, these stuff to see. Not a lot to see, but you can see through. As you can see, you can quite clearly see through. Yeah, it's not hard to see, but there's not a lot to see though. As you can see, we've got some more units here as well. This here looks like oh, he's hiding. There was a chap there, but he ran straight there into hiding mode. Hidey. Yeah, not a lot to see. But they're all a bit skittish, aren't they? Always makes me laugh when they get skittish. So guys, I found the last inspection report from the HM Inspectorate of Prisons, and I've got this little page here, and it's, go away, it says a fact page. So it tells us a couple of things. Let me just get a bit closer here. So it tells us that 90% of prisoners live within 18 miles of the prison. Almost 60% of prisoners were sharing a cell designed for one. 63% of prisoners said in a survey they had mental health issues. In 2018, there had been 600 completions of interviews to reduce the risk of reoffending. Prisoners had access to evening association 4 days a week, and 51% of prison officers had been in the job for less than 2 years. 37% had less than 12 months experience. So some stats about the prison itself. It's obviously managed, as I said, by Sodexo Justice Services. The mental health team is Sodexo, partnered with NHS Greater Manchester Health Foundation. Physical health, Sodexo. Substance use treatment, Sodexo. Learning and skills provider, Sodexo. Community rehabilitation company, Purple Futures. And Escort is obviously GOME as well as the rest. So Sodexo provide like just about everything to do with the prison, from learning, mental health, physical health, substance. You know, they're making some bucks. And as for units and residential units, or wings, whatever you want to call them, landings, there's A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2, D1, D2, E1, E2, F1, F2, G1, G2, H1, H2. There's also a healthcare unit. Oh no, that is the healthcare unit, sorry. Yeah, that's that bit. Some key concerns which were noted by the HM Inspectorate of Prisons is, one, the amount of self-harm has increased significantly since the last inspection and was now exceptionally high. While data collected were useful and pertinent, sorry guys, there was no evidence of the information being used to inform a strategy aimed at reducing the self-harm figures. Also, levels of violence had doubled since the last inspection, and much more was serious. The incentive scheme focused too much on punitive measures rather than incentivising pro-social behaviour. There was a lack of effective interventions to address lower level bullying and violence, and the adjudication system was undermined by the high number of charges that were not concluded, which meant that some serious incidents went unpunished. In the survey conducted by the Inspectorate of Prisons, 53% of vulnerable prisoners said they had felt unsafe at the time of inspection and had indicated that they had been bullied or victimised. The risk assessment process to determine the appropriate allocation of prisoners to C2, the vulnerable prisoner unit, was poor. Now let me just tell you one thing about the vulnerable prisoner unit. Vulnerable prisoner unit doesn't just mean, oh, you know, they're getting bullied. The vulnerable prisoner unit is where predominantly you will see sex offenders housed. It's the same for every prison. They call them VPs, but really they're just dirty nonces and rapists, which is, it's weird. Rather than put them on a wing where they can get bullied and deserve to get victimised, they house them all together so they can congregate with each other, is what it is. So guys, we've been hanging around for a good half hour since they said the police were coming, and no police have turned up. So we're trying to intimidate, maybe. Did it work? Hell no. So guys, that was Forest Bank. That's as much information as I've got for you right now. Obviously we've been stood here waiting for the police to arrive for about 30 minutes, but they haven't arrived, so we're not going to waste too much more of our time today. We're going to get on and go to another job that we've got planned, so we're going to go do that as well. So guys, you know what's coming next as always. Until the next one, as always, stay safe, peace and respect.